Listen up, cluckheads.
You're listening to Whiskey and Whine
with Rooster and
The Madman, where we talk about common sense, current events,
the Constitution,
and morals, while comparing drinks of yesteryear to drinks of today.
So sit back, relax, leave us a comment.
Here comes Whiskey and Whine.
Upset?
Get a new tattoo.
Throw hands.
What the cluck is wrong with you guys?
Well, like I told the officer, she did get her shoes back when she left. So
it was a typical Thursday.
Well, yeah.
Yellow card. Let's just stop this before it gets really bad.
That's the problem.
That's just the way it goes. Yeah. We're recording. So, welcome back,
cluckheads.
Episode 59 with Whiskey and Whine with the Rooster and the Madman and the morals. You know who we are. You know what we do. Common sense, current events,
Constitution,
and me.
Morals.
You heard her asking us what we do with our feelings, or I don't know. Therapy session.
I didn't know it was going to be an impromptu therapy session, but
anyway,
there's
not a copay.
Nice.
So it was my turn to choose this week. So I decided to choose something that we had been talking about doing, but we never actually did, and that was go with a stout. So I went and got some of these stouts. These just came from Market Street. There is definitely a higher end, and there is a lower end, but even the lower end is I'm guessing still gonna be pretty good. So the lower end one that we got here is from Breckenridge Brewery, and it is their vanilla porter. It's 5.4% alcohol. It's like $11 for a 6-pack, so like $1.83, $1.84 per can, which that's going to come into play here in a second.
It looks like a fancy root beer.
It looks like a fancy root beer bottle, but you know what I'm ready for? The Sleepy Joe Biden sniff test. Let's do this.
We've already got our bottle openers going here.
Oh, that smells
really good.
That smells really good.
I like it.
And honestly, especially maybe it's just because I'm thinking about it because you said the root beer thing is that it literally smells like like vanilla mixed into a root beer.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just like a mental thing.
All good root beers do have vanilla in it. So
I did not know that.
Yes, A&W vanilla.
They put vanilla in their root beer.
Vanilla aged.
Huh?
Yeah, it says so right on the can.
Well, one of us hasn't bought a root beer in a long time.
Yeah, I guess one of us has.
So I wonder who is who.
So now, do we need to preface this with the American Honky Tonk Bar Association, or you want to read it first and then she can
grab it here? So this one is very special,
and this has the best art of any can that I've ever seen.
Yeah, I had to write down on how it's pronounced. So it's Kokytus.
I believe that is correct.
Kokytus. And there's a service dog eating my leather book here. But she's being quiet about it, so it's awesome.
Yeah, so just so the listeners know, if they hear anything weird, some snaps or something like that, we have a service dog in training that's here with us tonight. Her name is Blythe, and she came from Rescue Row. So she's a 16-week-old black lab, and I'm thinking that she needs to be a permanent part of the show. Well, we don't have enough things getting
good thing I'm almost done with this book then, because I'll get something that makes
she's in training.
Yeah,
she's in training.
No, it's totally cool. So, but yeah, so this one is a rye whiskey barrel aged Imperial Stout. That's a lot to say, but it is definitely there. 14% alcohol. It's by the Martin House Brewing, and if you
14%,
we've done a few Martin House ones before, and your most favorite one we've ever done was the pickle beer one.
Oh God, this is not by that same company.
It is by the same brew house.
Huh?
Yeah, in Fort Worth, by the way.
Oh yeah, so it is a good local.
But no, they've got a lot of great stuff. We just didn't like the pickle beer. So
we need to get the American Honky Tonk Bar Association over here. I know that she was doing some research into this. And
before she does that, I wanted to mention you talked about the price point on these things you get at Market Street.
Yeah.
So this one's a little bit different. So this one's around $15 for a 2-pack.
Yeah.
$7.50 per beer.
So one of us didn't know that whenever we were checking
And it's
out.
only a 12-ounce can. But the artwork is incredible on the box. The artwork is incredible on the can. They obviously realize if they're going to make you pay $7.50 per beer,
then it needs
at
to be
a
worth
store, not at a club.
Yeah, imagine what
or a
this would be
bar.
like if we went to like a pub or something.
Yeah, it'd be crazy if you went to one of these brew house places. But anyways, so I'm excited about it. It's barrel, like I said, it's barrel aged 14%. So
American Honky Tonk Bar Association needs to jump in. We need to find out more about this.
So the Kokytus beer is a returning featured beer of Martin House Brewery. It's made its appearance a couple of times from them. From my understanding, is Lithuanian for quality.
Oh.
So looking.
So now she's got her Lithuanian Honky Tonk Bar Association.
I don't think they have a honky tonk bar association in Lithuania.
This
They
one
may have a
is
Lithuanian.
supposed
Yeah,
to be very malty and very chocolatey,
All right.
whereas the vanilla porter is supposed to be almost peanut butter undertones.
Well, I'm excited because it's a very
wait a
similar
minute.
box.
So you saying that the vanilla porter is going to have peanut butter undertones?
That's my understanding.
So I'm excited because
Okay.
the last time we had a 2-pack of beer that came in a cool box.
Oh, it was that Oktoberfest that the Morals got. for us.
Oktoberfest by Ron
Yeah,
that
the
Morals
Oak-
treated us to for Christmas. And that is still the best beer
Yeah.
we've ever had on the show.
So I wonder if this is going to beat it.
I don't know. It's
You know
a tough
what? Let's
one.
let's
crack
open
it
this
open
bad
and see what's
boy
going
up.
on.
Here's the crack. Good. You know what? Let's give it the Sleepy Joe Biden sniff test.
It smells like whiskey.
That smells
That
good.
smells amazing, and you're right. You can
It
smell.
does not smell like beer. It smells like whiskey.
Smells like whiskey. But if you do it the way that
Ooh, I smell the chocolate too.
yeah, that's what I was about to say. If you do it the way that the distillery guys told us to, where you cover the nostril
Yeah.
and breathe in and let it cover the
It's
palate.
like I
you
can't
can taste
remember
the
thinking what's
chocolate.
the free shots you get at like Mexican restaurants where it's like the chocolate liqueur.
Oh yeah, like the spicy chocolate.
Yeah.
What's that
That's
called?
what the kind of the hint of the smell I got on it.
Spicy chocolate.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know it's a free shot.
go
They
with
give it to
spicy.
me.
We'll go with spicy
Yeah,
chocolate.
they give it to me a free shot because I spent a lot of money on margaritas and enchiladas or something, and they're like, here you go.
Wait a second. Back this thing up. Back this information train up a second. Did you say gelatos?
Enchiladas.
Oh, I thought you said gelatos at a Mexican restaurant. I was like, that didn't make sense.
No, you must have had those later 3M earplugs that I keep saying on the class action lawsuits on Facebook about. We had the good old fashioned ones where you're just going deaf.
We just had the ones where you plug the toilet paper in your ears.
You pick up a couple weeds
All right,
out of the
I'll tell
ground,
you
stuff
what.
it in your ear.
I'll tell you what. Let's start with the vanilla porter since that's the lower end one. And just for clarification, this just because this is the cheaper one does not mean that it is a low quality one. So here we go. Let's get our clunkage clinkage going on.
Alrighty.
Let's take a sip of this bad boy. That is good.
It is.
It's very tasty.
And maybe it's just because you brought up the root beer thing. I can taste the root beer. It tastes to me. It tastes kind of like root beer.
Yeah, it's not at all. When she said peanut butter, I keep thinking that the 903 tracks, the Sasquatch, whatever it was, that was so terrible. But no, this is not like that at all.
No,
Peanut butter undertones, not
this
peanut
is
butter
really good.
flavor.
not. You want some peanut butter with your beer?
No, I don't.
That's some peanut butter in your
Now
beer.
that's the throwing hands you were talking about.
That would cause throwing of hands. Yeah. All right, let's jump into some topics here. Let's see what we got.
Topic number one.
Let's see what we got her. Let me get the timer ready for us.
The timer is ready, and the yellow and red cards are prepared.
All right.
They're locked and loaded.
All righty.
Get it? Because that's where
Well
we
played,
air.
sir.
Thank
Well
you.
played.
I see what you
Locked
did
and
there.
Loaded, yeah.
See what you did there. I like that. All right. So you want to start this? You want me to?
I'll take this one. This one's pretty fun. The Inflation
Timer
Act
started.
has been signed into law. I'm sorry. The Inflation Reduction
Yeah,
Act.
I was about to
has been
correct
signed
you
into
on
law. Now, the reason that I misspoke on that one is because everything about this act
That is really good.
doesn't read as it's going to lower inflation.
Well, that's because you understand how to read and you understand how basic economics
So
work.
basically everything I read about this is the title of this act is the only thing mentioning about lowering inflation.
So here's what's crazy about it, right? So originally Biden gave it the promise that if you make less than $400,000 a year, you are not going to see a tax increase. Well, now we know that is false.
Yeah.
That over the next 10 years, it is going to produce $20 billion in taxes, and the majority of that is going to come from people that make less than $200,000 per year,
Yeah.
which is almost everybody that I know.
So the middle class, from what I saw in that one, outside of this act, but the middle class, the statistics I showed, is going to be something like 97% of those people who fall in between $125,000 and $200,000
As a
year.
household.
As a household,
Yeah.
97% of those people are going to be getting a tax increase. But this is about getting billionaires to pay their fair share because there's 720 something.
724 billionaires in America.
Yeah.
Now here's what's crazy though. You have a bunch of your moderate Democrats saying this isn't going to work. This is going to cause more inflation. You have your Republicans that are saying this is not going to work. This is going to cause inflation. And then you even had the Congressional Budget Oversight Committee,
the CBO,
come out and say this is not going to work. It's actually going to cause inflation. But do you know what the prized moment was? Was whenever the spokes lady, whenever she said they could be wrong.
Yeah, that was her answer when they asked.
Could be.
They could be wrong.
When the CBO and everybody is saying that you will not decrease inflation by raising taxes, by printing more money and spending more money, that is the opposite direction of lowering inflation. And that was her answer was, well, they could be wrong.
Because we've not seen this in action.
Well,
even
whenever during the Obama administration, whenever we were on the verge of a major recession, and somebody brought it up, even President Obama said, you can't raise taxes during the middle of a recession. It will have the opposite effect and cause more inflation.
Well, the good news is what the Biden administration figured out from the Obama administration that they weren't doing is all you have to do is just not accept the definition or the way things work and just give yourself a new meaning to everything.
Give yourself a new definition of recession.
When the Dow and the stock markets and all the different ones started dropping, obviously they said that's not much of an indicator on it. So was that a premature
That was a
stop?
Premature stop.
Yeah, it happens. So
So have
you looked at hims.com?
If you heard,
I'm not a sponsor.
If you heard our stop music go through, is because I set the timer wrong. We had some technical difficulties. We still got about a minute and a half.
So let me finish my point on this one.
We still got about a minute and a half.
He basically, the White House said that they don't look at things like the stock market to see how the economy's doing. And then when the government retail spending report came out and we saw spending was down by 30%, they also again stated, well, we choose to not look at things like that. When we had this whole discussion, like last episode, one before, about who are they asking, because they said they like to hear from the people that they ask on how the economy's doing. So when you take that into consideration, of course, the Inflation Act can mean anything they want it to be.
I'm just so thankful that that we're redefining that in inflation, because eggs have gone up, just 38% since March.
Gas jumped 25 cents after this got signed into law. After they signed
this, because it has so much of the Green Deal, clean energy stuff in it.
But I'm sure everybody else except for the geriatric guy and the woman we can never find, everybody else is wrong except for those two. I found
her, but we're going to cover that in the big FU.
Yeah, we'll get to that later. So
yeah, but it's absolutely crazy because they have the audacity to give us a credit report where that we have to base all of our finances on that, but they sit there and just completely print more money, causing more inflation, just going more in debt.
You did see Congress exempting themselves from the new audits coming out of the 87,000.
I did see. Oh, timer just went off, and that one was the real one. Okay.
87,000 IRS agents going to audit people, and Congress said we're exempt from audits.
Yeah, we're exempt from audits. That's not how that works.
I don't think they should be able to make laws about themselves. But that's
They
just
shouldn't,
me.
but they're able to give themselves raises. They're able to when
exclude
insider
themselves.
trading came up. The law says
they
that you
exclude
can use
themselves from
national
insider
security
trading. Yeah.
It's not considered insider trading
Nope.
when you know what's going on ahead of time and then make money on the stock market over your information that's not public.
All right. Timer went off. I know that we're irritated about it.
Yeah.
We're clucking mad.
Yeah.
Clucking mad.
Clucking mad. All right. So what do y'all think about that vanilla porter?
I like it. Give yourself another drink here.
I mean, I accidentally drank half my bottle.
Accidentally.
It was an accident.
It was an accident.
I have a drinking problem in it.
Yeah.
Like it missed my mouth the first half, so now I've got to focus on the last half.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Best part's always at the bottom.
It is. I'm trying to see if it gets more root beery the more you go down.
See, I don't really. I mean, I catch the tail end of like the vanilla and like you said the peanut butter undertones, but they're very mellow. I mean, it's still just a good stout beer.
Yeah, and this is one, and surprisingly, for it being a very dark stout, it's not sitting heavy.
Yeah,
it's not sitting heavy at all.
It's good. I like it.
All right.
So
we ready to switch over?
Yeah, let's take a switch to the other one of the.
I want to keep these cans. These cans are so just. I mean, I know y'all can't see it unless you tune
You're not
in.
one of those people who keeps those Crown Royal bags too, are you?
No, I'm not one of those people who keep the Crown Royal bags all the time.
So if I go to the bunker, I'm not going to find any of those little.
They're great for rolling cords up in, and that is the God's honest truth. They are the perfect size to roll cords up in. So anyway, so I wish y'all could see the can. I want y'all to look this up. The artwork on this is amazing. It's got like this skeleton that has like a devil's head on one side looking at a skull, and then
It looks like it should be a Meatloaf album.
You and I have a very
Bat Out of Hell album.
no
Iron
cover.
Maiden.
Iron Maiden, yeah. I mean,
I
but
was
even
thinking like
they-
a Mon or Marth, like a Viking metal, or like
No.
Children of Bodom or something.
I was thinking like Meatloaf, like Bat Out of Hell, the album that was so artistic and dark, and
You are dead wrong.
Ronnie James Dio. Was, artwork,
Okay, I
stuff
could
like
go
that.
with Dio, not Meatloaf.
What's wrong with Meatloaf?
Well, with the way that some people cook it.
Ha 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 ha.
All right, let's get our clunkage clinkage going on. Let's try this. Let's see what we got her. Let's see what we got her. But I won't do that. All right, let's see this.
That's
Oh.
whiskey.
Oh wow,
That's creamy whiskey.
That's Irish cream.
but I like it.
Yeah, that's
Dark
Bailey's right
chocolate
there.
whiskey is what
Yeah,
that is.
that's Bailey's ice cream. That's
That
not beer.
is. It's almost like it's a creamy beer mixed with whiskey.
Yeah,
I like
it's
it.
like I
though.
took an Irish whiskey and then decided that I'm going to make it a Boilermaker with a shot of Guinness.
I like
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
It is very Boilermaker-esque.
Yeah. But it's good.
It's good.
I like it.
You can definitely taste the coffee in that stout.
Yeah, and you can taste the chocolate too.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's completely different than the other stout.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's get into topic number 2 here. What we got?
I took
what
off
we
the
got?
last one, so I'll let you
What
take
we got
this
here?
one. This is the good old gun ban.
Oh, the gun ban. Let me go ahead and set the timer on this. First off, I'm going to start it with shall not be infringed, which apparently that makes me a violent extremist in the new FBI.
Yeah, but that
terminology.
list was out before this law passed the House. So
Yeah,
they were already ready for that.
amongst all the other stuff like my tattoos and your tattoos and
Yeah,
the fact that we have so anyway.
Even Morals has a tattoo.
Yeah, now when you get mad, you can't go get a new extremist tattoo.
I know.
mean, it's just, apparently that's a foul.
So apparently when somebody upsets us, even getting an extremist tattoo,
Yeah.
if it's patriotic, is now off the table. So I guess that we're just going to have to resort to throwing these hands.
Yeah,
That's what I'm talking about.
Well, that's why the gun ban
I didn't
was-
wake up wanting to choose violence,
Well,
but I never took it off the table.
you're going to have
okay?
to choose your hands because the Congress has decided that the new gun laws need to change severely, and so pretty much.
Well, now it's
everything's-
not a law yet.
Well, no, it just passed the House.
So it's passed the House, but it has not passed the Senate.
And I hope it does.
Pretty much, they're exempting anything that's like a lever action, a bolt action, a single action,
and two Fed magazines.
Yeah. But did you notice how much gray area there was in semi-auto?
Yeah, so I mean, they even had a definition there of what is a semi-automatic pistol, talking about where the magazine is not located in the butt or into the grip. But they really left it loose around the semi-auto, so it worries me that we're
almost like they're going to try to start targeting semi-automatics.
Well, it almost reads like what they did in Canada when they got rid of their assault bans, and then came back and said semi-auto pistols are now the next thing to go.
Yeah, and then it just became all handguns.
The biggest kicker I didn't understand, because they say this is for public safety. They say that all of this is about public safety.
Did you not understand that?
It's about saving lives. It's about saving lives.
Did you not get that memo?
Yeah, well, if it's about saving lives, then why didn't you ban the weapons that are most used in violent crime? They never address that.
Nope.
They don't even address the most used firearm.
Well, in
violent crime,
and they don't even have a true definition of.
Yeah, they use the one that's like
is.
1% of all crime.
Exactly.
But here's what's funny about it. I mean, and to me, that is the ironic thing is, so all of these scary black rifles and their features
they're scary.
They're banned.
They trigger me.
But the Mini 14 by Ruger and the Mini 30 are specifically named as an exemption that they're allowed.
And what's funny is that the Mini 14 was essentially what is going to become the M16 in the 5.56 NATO round.
If the M16 had not, the original AR-10 had not been submitted for Army trials for the next battle rifle, the Mini 14 would have been
that.
The new Army rifle.
The Mini 30 was the exact same type of platform, except that it actually used a 7.62 full metal jacket.
Which is what the AK uses.
Which is what the AK uses.
But they're okay.
Those are fine.
Because they have a standard stock on them.
But, that 223 that's pretty much just a varmint rifle.
Yeah.
Because the fact that it looks scary.
Yeah.
It just looks so scary.
Well, yeah, it's designed to decapitate.
And blow your lungs out, man.
Well, no, that's 9mm.
I'm sorry.
That's the weapon, WMD 9mm.
Yeah, that's the weapon of mass destruction, 9mm.
Yeah, so
with the exploding grenade tips.
Yeah, so none of this stuff is actually true. That round that they hate so much was actually picked because it was so lightweight, and NATO wanted that particular round. The Army was actually using a much higher caliber round, the 308, when they were using the M14, or what the people know as the M1A.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So the Mini 14, the Mini 30, they're okay. So as long as it's got a standard wooden stock, it screams safety. But you put an ergonomic grip and a stock on it.
Whoa, buddy! You're going to need to back
WMD.
Up. You're going to need to back that weapon of mass destruction up out of her.
Yeah. So I just don't. I don't trust it.
It's ridiculous.
Oh, and the other thing is, as long as it's a 22 rimfire, anything goes.
Yeah. You could literally have and it's crazy. And the thing is, for those of us that actually grew up using lever actions,
yeah,
most of the time we can shoot a lever action faster than somebody can pull the trigger on a semi-auto.
It's about reloading is what it's about, is what it really comes down to. They, they don't want you to be able to reload with just a simple magazine, because, they feel that half a second is...
because anybody that's ever reloaded in the moment, they know that you're not going to actually try to reload the entire clip.
All of the crime.
They're going to sit there and push the button, eject it, and just slam another one in.
But they ignored all of the weapons that are actually used in crime.
Yeah.
So we can continue killing ourselves with all these other weapons, but not this weapon that's used 1% of the time.
Correct. I'm glad that you acknowledge that.
So
timer just went off.
It's ridiculous.
Timer just went off. All right.
Hypocritical. Shall not be infringed.
What?
Shall not be infringed.
I couldn't hear that. What did you say?
Shall not be infringed.
Can it be infringed a little bit?
No.
Can it be infringed just maybe if we just look at maybe a little? Okay.
What if I just
that
put
way?
one
It's in both
parameter?
languages.
Both.
So
nice.
There's
only two.
Was Texas.
One of my favorite.
I'll allow it.
One of my favorite memes has been
9. There you go. Third one.
One of my favorite memes has been with that. Well, the founding fathers, they had muskets.
Stop quoting the founding fathers.
I know.
Because that's extremist talk right there.
The only thing I can think of is that we sit there and we take some of these 4-foot mini cannons and just load it with a black powder, like a 10-pound ball.
If you want me to go
and actually push them up to the windows so that they're firing out of every window.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
like take like a grape shot cannon and aim it right at the door. So like if a robber comes in, I can just like hear ye.
Yeah,
Boom,
dude,
and then all of a sudden I blow apart the neighbor's. I blow apart the neighbor's house like next door, like just the wall comes down.
And I'm gonna have that 6-pound cannon hanging out the window.
Be like, hey, look, I'm sorry. I was considered to be a violent extremist because I was going to use an AR-15 with a 223 round with an ergonomic grip. But it just made so much more sense to use the exact same weapons that the founding fathers have. So sorry about your house, the interior walls. You may want to apologize to the people next door. I don't know their name, but I'm pretty sure that the cannonball went through there too.
Yeah. So hopefully
Idiots.
it'll pass. I know we're way over on time, so hopefully, it won't pass the Senate. Hopefully the Senate will have the cojones to actually do their job.
Maybe do
and follow the Constitution.
Maybe do a full stock block.
Yeah, the whole thing is
Nice.
sad. I mean, they're really pushing everything just to get it done before the midterms.
Yeah.
That's all this is a mad dash to the midterms.
Yeah, because the thing is, if they can pass the law, all of these laws, if they can pass them before midterms, essentially the only way that a law can be reversed, if I remember my parliamentary procedure correctly, in the type of democratic republic that we have set up, I want to say that once it's a law, the only way that it can not be a law enforceable anymore is if you pass a law that strikes that law down.
Or if it's repugnant to the Constitution. Then
Yeah, or if it's... Well, there's a
that's
lot.
more of a founding father scenario. But
hey, you're a violent extremist now.
yeah, that's what I've heard.
Rumor has it it's flying around a lot these days.
But the good news is about 2/3 of the country is violent extremists now.
Yeah.
You say you love your country? Extremist.
Now, you know what? I do love my country.
Yeah.
And you know what? I firmly believe, and I believe it was Teddy Roosevelt that said it, where that the definition of being a patriot is that you can love your country and hate your government. But what they're trying to do is make it where that if you're a patriot, period, then you are now an extremist.
Yeah.
So, all right, what do y'all think about this one?
I like it.
I like this one a lot, and if you hadn't have shown me, I would have argued to tooth and nail that this came from the same brewery as that stupid pickle beer.
A lot of people love that pickle beer.
No, they don't.
Yeah,
That's just like U2.
Somebody's buying.
No one actually likes U2. Just that nobody was brave enough to stand up and say this band sucks.
Well, it's because they force those free albums on your iTunes on you.
I mean,
It's like I didn't want this thing.
I woke up, I deleted that. I was like, why do I have a U2 album on my phone? How did this happen?
Yeah,
It was a free gift.
Everybody's got something that they like. Everybody's got. I mean, there are people out there who vote Democrat, but that doesn't make any damn sense.
At least not right
No
now.
damn sense.
No damn sense. That's also an unscented giftedchicken.com.
Giftedchicken.com. It's based right here out of North Texas. Veteran owned and operated.
Yeah. Or extremist owned.
For your beard, all your beard bath and body needs.
Body care needs. Yeah, absolutely.
Don't they still have those acid etched glasses that are dishwasher friendly of all the branches of the military?
They do.
Minus the Space Force.
They do, minus the Space Force. We don't do Space Force. And they are working on getting all the law enforcement ones too, and the fire department and all that kind of stuff. So the first responders.
Well, if I ever actually can get to one of the farmers markets that Gifted Chicken is at, I'm going to make sure I show up and I protest, because I think that the owner, operator, and employees of that company are probably all violent extremists.
Well, first of all, the owner was not an operator. He was a tanker.
All right. That's good. You know what? How are we going to do the go back?
So let's go back
Let's
do
the Kokytus, the devil can. Let's go back from the devil can to the vanilla.
Okay.
I like that. I just really like that.
Blended together.
Blends
They
well.
actually
Pretty
do
darn
blend
good.
really well.
Yeah.
Hey, I just kind of thought of something. You said that this was like
Back to pairing beer to beer.
like Lithuanian for quality,
Yes.
and it's got like all this devil imagery on it.
Yes.
So I'm wondering if they're trying to say that this is a hell of a quality.
Could be.
Well done.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's back to their Soviet bloc days.
Yeah.
And they're a bunch of godless communists.
Yeah. But yeah, surprisingly,
Yellow
So
card.
is it too much? Is it too much?
so surprisingly,
be
they
NATO. It's
actually,
cool.
for being completely different beverages, they actually went back really well.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we'll come back to that in a minute.
Yeah, but
Let's
first-
move on to our next topic. It's one of our favorite topics there, Mr. Rooster. Sir Rooster.
Rooster.
Indubitably one of our favorite topics. Do you know what it is? The big FUs. FU.
Stands for follow-up.
No, it doesn't stand for follow-up.
Does.
Just, no.
Yes.
Just because you keep repeating it doesn't mean that it's true. All right,
Fake
so
news.
Fake.
all right, wrong. So all right, let me get the timer up here.
News could never be more wrong than it is now.
You know what? I'm going to let you start since you just did a Trump impersonation.
Yeah, so,
there you go. Why don't you
so
start that bad boy?
Trump got into basically a staring contest
Now-
with the government.
Now, before this starts, I'm going to just straight up admit I'm not a Trump guy.
Yeah.
There's things that he did that he liked. There's things that I did that I thought was completely narcissistic. But I love this.
Yeah, this is
take
pretty,
it.
This is pretty ballsy. So he gets into basically a staring contest. We talked about this in the last episode where they had the FBI raid on Mar-a-Lago. So Trump had called, hey, why don't you release the warrant? Tell everybody what you're looking for. Tell everybody everything you did. You have my permission. So the government basically said, and got into the staring contest. The government basically said, don't tempt us. We'll do it. So Trump's lawyer responded with,
Do it!
Here is a written, signed statement saying, please release all the information on the affidavit that led to the search warrant. So the government was given a time frame to respond, and they blinked. So he won the staring contest. They absolutely blinked, and they said that they cannot release the affidavit.
Well, didn't it go to a
information.
judge, and the judge?
Yeah, so they told the judge they can't do it because it's secured information and it might harm an investigation that they're doing. So the judge, being a federal judge, said, nope, you have until next Thursday, which I think was way too generous.
Oh yeah, if that was you or I, that would happen.
You have till next Thursday to submit a redacted affidavit taking out key names and things like that to the judge first. The judge will then review that affidavit that's been redacted and decide what stays redacted, what doesn't, or do they need to do this whole thing behind closed doors for national security and have another discussion about it, which is probably not likely going to happen.
You know, it's just really kind of weird that they're trying to keep all of this closed, and whenever we have such an open
society, open form of government, but everything needs to be done behind closed doors without the American public knowing on it. So it's kind of sad. I mean, but yeah, he's obviously coming out the victor on this little game of chicken. He called them and they said, don't you challenge us. And he's like, oh, I'm going to challenge you. And then like, oh, please don't challenge us anymore. So, I mean, and it's just kind of sad.
So the other thing I think is kind of funny, just since that you're talking about the Trump thing there, is that, we've talked many times, and there's been a really good documentary coming out that it's already come out called 2000 Mules, where that they talked about how this election was pretty much stolen from him. Once again, I'm not a huge Trump fan, but there's a lot of evidence saying, it was.
Well, there was a Supreme Court justice who said that
now
it
it
should have
seems
been heard.
like, what was that? I missed that. Sorry. What'd you say?
There was a Supreme Court justice who actually said that actually should have been heard. The cases on the election should have been heard.
But I find it really funny that for the most popular president of all time, that right now almost every single person that Trump's gone out and endorsed has beaten the incumbent.
He's at 80% right now.
Yeah.
80% of everybody Trump has endorsed in the current elections has won.
And I really couldn't believe that
isn't people who were just trying to retain the seats. These were challenges to existing people. Everybody
that challenged an existing.
Think about this. Everybody on the Republican
80%.
side. No, I'm just saying everybody who's Republican who voted yes on either one of those impeachments that was up for election in this midterm in the primary got primaried out.
Yep.
or they retired because they weren't going to get the votes. Mm-hmm. Every one of them.
And I really found it funny with Liz Cheney up in Wyoming.
You're fired.
And like she lost by a landslide,
She's
like
Abe
35 points.
Just like Abe Lincoln.
And then she compared herself to Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, one of the greatest presidents of the United States.
You know what?
She's never
Speaking
been the president
of
the United States.
Well, she hasn't, but her daddy was the vice president.
Yes, he
but
was.
Speaking of vice
and
presidents,
didn't everybody hate him when he was the vice president?
They did, but that goes.
Didn't he shoot a guy?
But that goes with the next topic. Where in the world is Kamala Harris? Because we were talking about vice presidents and how everybody hates them. So it's a natural segue into this.
I got to say, this one's hated more than Dick Cheney was.
I cannot believe.
There's never been a more distrusted vice president than
I literally
Kamala Harris.
cannot believe.
But then again, there's never been a more poorly rated president than the current president of the United States.
I cannot believe that she has a lower approval rating than Dick Cheney. Dick Cheney literally shot someone in the cluck.
Yeah, it's.
I don't know how.
Cluck works. We'll leave it at cluck.
So I can't say ass.
No,
Okay.
yellow card.
He actually shot the person in the face.
So
But
it was wrong.
depending, I thought it was the.
No,
Nope.
he
Just
shot him in the face.
in the cluck. He got shot in the cluck.
Yeah. So, anyways,
Are you sure it was the face? I thought it was the cluck.
I'm pretty sure it was the face.
Could be both, depending on the politician.
Yeah, who knows? Who cares? I mean, because nobody cared at that point. I mean, he's not going to be charged. Everything was all said and done. They said it was an accident. I mean, then again, you hunt with an 85-year-old guy with a shotgun. There's an accident bound to happen.
So I know you're probably thinking, I haven't seen Kamala Harris in the news. Kamala, where have you been? Well, let me tell you, she's on the border.
She's surrounded by a border, from what I understand.
She is. She's not gone to the southern border.
No.
But she's on technically a border.
Yeah. The Pacific border.
Yeah. She's done so much work and has such a high approval rating that she's on vacation in Hawaii. Is the dog snoring?
I was about to say I'm going to play my girl card here, and the cutest sound ever for the podcast, the only cute sound that will probably ever come out of this podcast, is the sound of a service dog puppy
The
snoring.
service dog puppy has apparently gotten all puppered out, and she just said, "You know what? Cluck it. I can't help these people."
We start talking about Kamala Harris. She's like,
Oh, timer just went off. Timer just went off.
So she's
All
in
right.
Hawaii.
So before we move on, Kokytus also means in ancient Greek lamentation.
Wait, what?
Lamentation.
So that's what it is, because these
It's covered in plastic.
So
no, like lamenting, like you're
Bad joke.
So the river Kokytus is from Greek mythology, and it's the river that runs into Hades,
No.
the land of the dead. And that's
that's the theme.
The theme here, and the
I thought
death.
that was the River Styx.
So no, I thought River Styx was the one that was in hell. That was in the
No, that's
underworld.
Kokytus flows into the river
Mr. Roboto.
Acheron, the other side of which runs into Hades, the underworld abode of the dead.
The abode of the dead.
The abode.
The abode.
So you're saying that it's probably not got all of this like underworld imagery on it because it's a hell of a beer.
Well, it is a hell of a beer.
They didn't use the word hell.
But
back
to be
then, though.
fair,
To be fair,
it's probably closer to that lamenting.
The Hades of
thing.
a beer.
The Hades of a beer
This
is
is the Hades of a beer.
what it boils down to. But I also happen to agree with
We got to do our go backs.
quality.
Oh yeah, we do need to go back. And I got one last thing I want to talk about, and then we'll put it down in the
No,
ground.
we've already finished our topics. You're done.
So go back.
Go back. Yeah, we
Go
got
back.
to go back to the
All right.
Porter to can.
the porter
Porter.
to the
Kokytus. Careful.
The porter to the coitus.
like what I did there.
Easy there.
That's more of a peach card.
I thought it was gonna be more of a paint card.
MG. Red on you both before this goes any further.
Sorry.
Stop.
These things just pop up in my head sometimes.
Stop.
Gotta get them out.
Well, dude, sometimes whenever you say like stuff like that, it's hard to not make a joke.
Wow.
That's what she said.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is the
Things
life
just
of
come
Moles.
up.
Told you not to look at it.
I clucking can't with you two.
Well, I was gonna try to go camping this weekend, but apparently we're not allowed to pitch tents.
All right, so we're gonna have to get serious because this next topic is absolutely has nothing to do with those things we're talking about.
We
need to go back.
We need to go. I know what my personal favorite is. What's yours? Pointing at the Rooster.
So I'm gonna go with the vanilla porter. Believe it or not.
Okay, well you're dead wrong.
I go with the lesser expensive.
You're dead wrong on that, but that's okay. You can sit there and be wrong in your wrongness.
Madman, you next.
I'm going to go with the one hell of a beer. I mean, now granted, the vanilla porter is not bad, but especially for a stout, like in the spirit of a stout, this has the spirit of the stout, and then it has that whiskey mixed in with it. It's just like I think that this one embodies more of like what a real stout would be.
So I think the whiskey's overpowering.
Oh, it probably is a little bit
on that one. And
but that's okay because I know that you're used to like Michelob Ultra and
well, that's why I'm going with the porters because it is a beer. We're still talking beer, and it's more than the other one tastes more like a Boilermaker with Guinness,
which is
also a stout.
Yeah, and that's a stout. So what I heard was that you were
but I'm tasting the whiskey before the beer is what I'm saying, and
gotcha.
it's
so
a
whiskey
beer that we're supposed to be tasting
in the clear. Beer to whiskey, mighty risky.
Anyways, Morals, what do you think?
On this one, I'm going to have to go with the Kokytus.
All right, cool.
I agree that the vanilla porter is the spirit of what a porter is. What a porter is, but also what a stout is. But the Kokytus also has that stout foundation. So cool. I think they both achieve the goal. I'm going to have to go on flavor, and I go with the creamy over the not creamy.
Just like Godsmack, I stand alone here.
So you get 2 votes on this. So is that your American Honky Tonk Bar Association opinion or your Lithuanian Honky Tonk
or Greek
Bar
at this point?
Or Greek. So yeah, you get 3 votes.
I'm going to go with the ancient Greek, and this conversation is dead because it's lamented and Kokytus wins.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
You just kind of like laid that down.
Ha. Ha.
Ha! All right, what you're surprising us with the second topic here.
Well, it's not really a
third
surprise
topic, fourth topic.
I just wanted to again mention that we're getting closer to save the date. DFW Ride for Kids, September 18th. It's the pediatric brain cancer event. We'll be at the Fort Worth Indian dealership, so make sure you show up. Come out there. We're gonna have a good time. There'll be some vendors,
and it's for a great cause.
Food truck, motorcycles.
Only one food truck. Only one food truck for the entire thing.
Yeah, Indian dealerships is providing the food truck.
Just one food truck.
Yeah, you only need one.
Yeah. Dude, what would that? Can you imagine if you converted like an 18-wheeler, like with a 53-foot long trailer, into like a food truck?
This could be one. We don't know.
It could be. The only way that we're going to find out is that if we show up September 18th to this event.
But I'll have vendors there, so they'll bake goods and stuff like that. So if you get snackish, you can certainly take care of that. And we usually start off with donuts in the morning because that's the way you should always start off your breakfast.
I like to start off breakfast with steak and eggs and bacon.
Well, everybody's got their own thing. So
anyway, so September 18th.
September 18th, DFW Ride for Kids. It's gonna be a great event. We do it annually, so just come check us out.
So just like my exams, annually, I just didn't. No.
Yeah.
No.
That was a stretch.
No, I was just trying to remember if they used one finger or 2.
Yellow card. So
you've been listening to Whiskey and Wine.
That joke has nothing to do with DFW Ride for Kids.
You've been listening to Whiskey and Wine with the Rooster and the Madman and the Morals. So remember, in a world full of chickens, be a rooster. You're listening to Whiskey and Wine. Thanks for tuning in to Whiskey and Wine with the Rooster and the Madman, where you can catch brand new episodes every Saturday at 4 p.m. on Deep Dallas Radio on Locked and Loaded with DJ Shane Guns.
Special thanks to our sponsor, GiftedChicken.com, home to all your beard, bath, and body care needs. Veteran owner-operator right here in North Texas. Remember to pick up a bottle of Overlord's Dungeon Oil. It's 100% all-natural coconut oil.
Leaves you prickly on the insides.